Thank you very much, Ms. Sung. Let me start the questioning. You've been an appointed member of the Oregon Employment Relations Board since 2017, and as it's commonly known, the ERB is a three-member panel representing diverse perspectives on labor and employment issues. Of the approximately 200 matters you've presided over, you've ruled in favor in some instances for employers and other instances for employees. As a member of that board, you analyze the record and case law and try to be a neutral adjudicator, I'm sure. You also work with your fellow board members to try to find consensus where possible and to collaborate on draft language. What have you learned from that experience that you think will help you as judge in the Ninth Circuit?
Thank you for the question, Chair Durbin. As you noted, I've served as a neutral adjudicator for nearly 5 years, and I serve on a three-member panel issuing decisions. And that panel is professionally diverse by design. And I think that experience has especially deepened my appreciation for collegiality. I work hard to reach consensus whenever possible, and the vast majority of our decisions are unanimous. And I believe that experience will serve me well as an appellate judge should I be confirmed.
Ms. Sung, in July of 2018, as a Yale Law School alum, you signed on to a letter to Yale Law School leadership expressing concern about then Judge Kavanaugh's nomination to the Supreme Court. Would you like to comment on that letter in light of your nomination?
Yes, thank you again, Chair Durbin. The letter that you referenced was addressed only to my law school administration, and I signed it strictly in my personal capacity as a private citizen addressing my alma mater. I did not write the letter, but I recognize that much of its rhetoric was overheated. And if by signing that letter, I created the impression that I would prejudge any case or fail to respect the authority of any Supreme Court justice or any of the court's precedents, then I sincerely apologize. Throughout my legal career, as a litigator and as an adjudicator, I have respected the authority of every Supreme Court justice, and I have followed all of the court's precedents without reservation, and I would continue to do so as a lower court judge if confirmed.
Thank you. Justice Robinson, you've been on the Vermont Supreme Court for 10 years. Before that, in your private practice, you were a policy advocate. So obviously, we'd like to hear your comments about how those policy positions and your advocacy might impact your impartiality as a judge.
Thank you, Senator. I appreciate that question.
Button.
Thank you, Senator Durbin. Appreciate the question. 10 years ago, I did make the transition from advocate to judge. And it was a major transition in at least two ways. As an advocate, my focus was the interests of my individual clients, and that was my duty and commitment. As a judge, my duty and commitment is to the law, without regard to the interests of any particular clients or even my own personal predilections. The other difference is that as an advocate for policy matters, I was very much a political person at that phase in my life. Upon assuming the bench, that aspect of my life ended because there's no space for a politically oriented person on the bench. And so for the last decade, that prior part of my life, of which I'm very proud, but it ceased to guide my work upholding the rule of law. The thing that made that transition easy for me is that I feel the same passion and commitment to my mission in this position, which is to uphold the rule of law, as I felt for any cause I advocated in the last chapter of my career.
I take it from the kind words and support you receive from so many diverse backgrounds in Vermont that you've been able to stick with that basic principle for 10 years on the Supreme Court of that state. So I acknowledge that you have 10 years of proof that you can divorce a former life of policy advocacy to a new responsibility. I thank you for your being here today. Senator Grassley.